Right now, we're facing a man-made disaster of global scale, our greatest threat in thousands of years. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon.
Yep, oysters, and the health of our oceans and our seas, too.
Florida's oyster industry has been reeling for years.
Used to, whenever you picked up a clump, there was 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 on it. You know, I see 1 on here now, maybe 2.
Of course, Hurricane Michael did significant damage in the Gulf Coast region, and it's having an impact on oysters.
Oyster populations along Florida's Gulf Coast declined dramatically during the last decade.
The reefs where oysters grow are one of the planet's most at-risk marine habitats. Just in Florida, more than 70% of oyster reefs have disappeared in the last century.
Places like Apalachicola Bay, known as the state's oyster capital, lost 90% of its oysters.
How is it going, everyone? My name is Joshua Eddins, and this is another episode of Ethos Offshore. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. I got something pretty cool in the works for you. I ended up driving down to St. Pete, Florida to go visit a friend of mine for his birthday, but I was driving along the nature's coast along the way and figured I might as well stop and get me some oysters. Oystering has been a part of our community for a very long time, but unfortunately, we have had a very big decline in the population in our area for the past few years, really decades. Overfishing and overpopulation has played a huge role in this. People building beach houses out on the beach on septic systems, you end up getting that septic leached into our waterways, and it really is harmful to the oyster beds and the scallops and other shellfish in our area. So, you know, we're really working to get the infrastructure up in our area and try and bring these oysters back, but it has been an uphill battle, if you will. But I still like to go and recreationally harvest every now and then. That being said, I make sure I'm very conservative on how many oysters I take home. I just take home enough for me and my family. I'm not out there getting 35 pounds of oysters to go and have a big get-together with and a big cookout with. If I'm doing that, I'm probably just going to go to my local seafood market and get a 35-pound box or something like that. But that being said, along my trip, I decided I would go ahead and find some approved areas where I could harvest some of these shellfish, because the Big Bend is world famous for its oysters. As many of you know, Apalachicola Bay has been closed for years due to the decrease in the oyster population over there from pollution and getting wiped out by Hurricane Michael. They actually just opened up their bay this year, but you had to file for a permit in order to harvest oysters in this area, and I didn't file for the permit in time. So I did not get my oysters from the Apalachicola Bay, like I'm sure many of you are wondering, but I did get them from an approved area by FWC, and everything I did was to the book, if you will. I do recommend you doing it this way. You can go on FWC's website. They have a shellfish web page, and on that web page you can find the FDAX page, and it'll take you to a link which will take you to an interactive map which will show you approved, conditionally approved areas and off-limits areas where you can harvest these shellfish in their certain harvestable season. That being said, I would recommend following these guidelines because they come up with these approved areas based upon the water quality at that point in time. This will prevent you from getting dead or bad oysters, or oysters that have been, let's say, sitting in water that has too high of a percentage of sewage in it. And so it's really important that you follow these guidelines and rules. It could save you your health and some fines along the way. But that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this. Again, please make sure you're being very conservative on how many oysters you take. If you decide to go out and recreationally harvest some, try and be careful with the beds and not destroy them. I ended up getting lucky and finding a very healthy bed in a approved area. I'm not going to blow that spot up for you guys just because our oyster population has taken such a huge decline over the years, and they are so important to our environment. That being said, we're going to get right on into it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video. We are going to be doing a catch and cook. My wife has gotten pretty good at doing some Rockefeller and Cajun oysters over the years, so y'all might be interested in seeing that. Thanks for watching, guys, and let's go get on to it. All right, guys, we are down here near the water. Now we get some oyster beds showing, and I think I'm gonna show you guys how to get some oysters. They gotta be 3 inches in length in order for you to get them. I don't have my colon iron, so I'm gonna use this. Basically what you're doing is looking for these guys that are 3 inches in length. He's from the foot up. See? Just break them off like that. I got a little mark on my wrench here. It shows they're legal to keep. See, that one's just a little shy. Throw it back. It helps to have gloves whenever you're doing this. That one's gonna be good. That one's gonna be good. So we'll throw him in there. The reason why I'm grabbing these ones down the water is because I want to make sure that they had some fresh water going through them. And you gotta make sure that you're also in an approved area where you can harvest these guys. I'll have to show you the map of where it's approved to get these guys. So let's see here. That's a good one. So we'll knock that little guy off. Knock those off. Nope. That one looks like it's going to be hard to get to without killing all these other little guys. Maybe not. That one's good. That one's good. I'm gonna sit you guys down and let you watch from a distance. All right, so we're just gonna keep culling some oysters. I come down here during a low tide, that way we can see where we're at, but this north wind has everything pushed out, so I'm looking for where I know the tide line has come up to and covered some of the oysters, so I'm getting nice fresh oysters instead of ones that have been sitting dry for the past 2 weeks or so. They'll last about 2 weeks outside of the water, but we want some fresh ones. Look at that clunk. That's kind of a little guy. He still made it, but we're gonna throw him back. Let's see if we got any good ones on here. There's a couple good ones on this one. I'll knock him off. Oh, look at that fiddler. Y'all see that fiddler crab right there? Oh, he's he's ready to fight. There's so many oysters. I wish we had this back home. They're getting better, but nothing like down here. I'm kind of being picky about which ones I want, because I don't want to kill any while I'm knocking any of these little ones off and bust them open. So I'm trying to get ones that are easily broken away without killing any other oysters. That one's just a monster. Look at that one, he's from here to there. We'll keep them. It's a big old clunk. That is like a perfect size eating oyster right there. We'll take these and rinse them off once we get as many of them as we want. I don't want many. I'm just down here by myself. Be meeting up with my wife here today, and I doubt we'll eat many of them. But it's just something cool to do while I'm down here, kind of explore. That was a good one. See, that one, you can see, if they're open like that, and you tap on it, and he don't close, it means it's dead. There's probably a little crab living inside there or something. Oh, yep, there sure is. Look at him. Right there. Little mud crab. I got about a dozen now. We'll get maybe another dozen. Have a snack along our travels. These other guys look too small. Tell me that ain't no pretty oyster. I know they're not Apalachicolas, but it ain't always got to be an Appalach to be good. That's pretty oyster. Kind of figured out how to knock these guys off of here pretty good. Dang it. Definitely want some gloves doing this, especially if you ain't got man hands. I work construction, so I got man hands, baby. Let's see here. Knock that one off. Knock that one off. Oh, that was a good one. We want that one. That's a perfect little oyster. Uh-oh. Looks like these two are going to be pretty hard to separate, maybe. They're both legal. Get Get that other little oyster off of him. Ah, man. I messed him up. Dang it. Uh-oh, that one sounded hollow. Maybe it's just... No, maybe it was just the barnacles. That's pretty oysters, man. Let's see how many we got. Oh, we got about a dozen and a half. Let's get a few more. Got myself good. And that's why you want gloves, folks. Because them oysters is sharp. Lost the one I was going for. Oysters carry a ton of bacteria on their shells. Luckily it's cold outside. Get that blood flowing to push that crap out of there. This bay system over here is so healthy. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is just absolutely ridiculous at how healthy it is over here. You wouldn't think so with all the red tides and all the people and stuff that they have, but oyster beds are all over the place. But even though they're all over the place, make sure you check your FDAC's website that you're going to the right spot. 'Cause if you don't and they catch you, you're in some big trouble. This was one of the very few spots I found that had oysters that I could reach from land without crawling through 3 meters of mud. All these little crabs hiding in here, trying to survive the cold. I don't think I need too many more oysters. Look for a few more decent ones. That is a big old wad of them. I don't even know what that yellow stuff is. Leave it there. It's going to be difficult to get to. Some good ones on this one. Let's see what we got here. Alright, I'd say we got plenty of oysters for us anyways. And I think we're going to go now. We're going to leave the mud on these guys because they last a lot longer with the mud on them. But whenever we go to eat them, we'll rinse them off. Alright guys, I think now I'm going to go walk a trail, see if we can't find some fish. guys, we finally made it home. So we're gonna go ahead and break into these oysters and make us some Rockefeller. So I'm gonna get to shucking. Yep, I got my little buddy here with me to help me. Yeah.
I'll go, Dada.
Hold on, Bubba.
Dada. I want that, Dada. I want Dada. Oh, oysters. There's oysters and no.
Yeah.
Corner, Dada. Oh, Dada.
Basically what I'm doing, guys, is you got a little hinge right there, and I got this here Dexter. It's got a little curved tip to it. I love this knife. But I'm getting it under that hinge, and I'm just slowly prying it open. And once I get it out, I wipe my knife clean before I slide it in there to free it from the shell. That way I'm not putting any mud or shell back into the oyster. So we're going to go ahead and break this one open again.
This wall open.
Yeah, we're going to get it open.
I'll go get it open.
Alright guys, we got about as many oysters as we're going to eat tonight here. As you can see, we got about 16 of them out there. And we're just going to have them as a little appetizer. And I left a couple more in the cooler just so I could give my dad some. I'm sure he's going to want to try them. But yeah, that's shucking them now. Let's get up to making some Rockefeller. Alright y'all, so we went ahead and fried up a little bit of bacon. We got our bacon grease in our cast iron over here and put our diced onions in it. Got a little bit of cream cheese right there.
There's minced garlic on it too.
And some spinach. We also got some minced garlic in there. And we've heated up our oven to 350 degrees. We're going to go ahead and cook all this down. She's going to go ahead and add the spinach. And the spinach doesn't go a very long way, so if you plan on doing a lot of oysters, make sure you get you at least 2 bags, 3 bags of spinach if you got a big box of them, because once she cooks that down, it's going to shrink up real fast. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and add the cream cheese and cook it down. Every now and then you gotta throw a little kid into the oven just to get what you need. Ah. You got dirty hands, girly. Alright, once the cream cheese is melted down, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat down so it can simmer a little bit. Go ahead and add some Parmesan cheese to it.
Just measure with your heart.
And one of the most important parts right there is that bacon. Now sometimes whenever we do this, we make the Cajun oysters, and we like to put crawfish tails on top of the oyster, and then put that on top of it, and it makes it superb. My favorite way to have them, honestly.
Cajun way is probably my favorite too.
What about me?
Is the Cajun way your favorite too? You're so silly. Alright. There you have that part. Heat's off, fin off. Since it's cast iron, I'm just trying to...
Alright, so now we're going to put this on our oysters. Now, one thing I noticed whenever I was shucking these is some of them, the shell was very brittle and was breaking in half, and it had this little orange kind of porous coating all over it. Well, it turns out that is actually a boring sponge that bores through the shell of the oyster and makes it very brittle. It does not kill the oyster and does not make the oyster bad to eat. In most cases, unless you just happen to find one. But as long as that oyster is sealed, it is usually okay to eat. You just have to make sure you get all the shell out of it whenever you're cleaning it.
And then, last but not least, I don't do breadcrumbs. You can if you would like. Even if you do breadcrumbs, I suggest some Parmesan cheese. Okay, 1 second. I'll give you some. Don't reach up here. That eye's hot.
Mommy, I want some cheese. Just give me a bigger one. I want it bigger.
Okay, I'll give you a little ramekin of it.
You okay? Yeah? I trust you, Mommy. I'm okay. I'm awesome.
Oh, that's right. I'll get you some. Hold on. Let me put this in the oven. Back up. It's going to be hot. Watch out. Put the mitt on to put it in there. I'm silly.
Alright, y'all. It's been about 20-25 minutes. Once the cheese gets browned up on them, they are ready to eat. I'm gonna let those sit for a minute, cool off, and then try them out. Alrighty, now that is a meal, my friends. Let's go ahead. Alright, babe. Try one out. Tell us what you think.
I feel like you should do this because I'm the one that made it.
Well, I'm the one that caught them. I need you to be my guinea pig. How are they?
They're really good.
Alrighty. Alright, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. It is time for us to go eat. We're going to go sit down and enjoy this meal. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.